Is a rather sorrowful affair for even a jaded individual. Here and there, the architecture of the village is such that you can appreciate the antiquity and beauty that these structures may have had before whatever horror swept through this community, leaving it a lifeless shell. Coming down into the town square from an adjacent block, you can see that there is a rather harrowing-looking monument rising from the center of the city, but just off to center, there's something else. There is a chocolate cake of immense size. Two huge dripping candles burn on its face. Small studs are here replaced by candies the size of punch bowls. Twin thin columns of smoke rise from those candles. And as the Hearthguard pauses...
Oh! Then you would like some chocolate cake!
She grabs two handfuls of confection and hurls them out from her hiding place. The blobs strike the earth, and where they strike, they begin to grow. The blobs of chocolatey mass begin to foam and generate more of themselves, until finally swirling, horrific, chittering things made of black gelatin and popping ichor rise up to nearly 3 feet height. Occasionally a burr of flesh or a bony protrusion juts from within them.
Yes, yes! You will have some chocolate cake! You will have some chocolate cake!
And with that, you'll roll for initiative.
Heat roll.
Mr. Pete, you are the first to assess the scenario. These two globs of squealing matter have risen up. You can see that the girl seems to be ferreting about or attempting something inside of her quote-unquote cake. What are you going to do?
Do I have a clear shot at her, or is she...
She is very much partially obscured by that big gloppy cake, whose construction and qualities you have no idea. But to answer quickly, yes, she's obscured by the great confection.
I'm gonna attempt to shoot a pendle flame towards the cake itself.
Smacking the cake, by all means. At this point...
Where she is.
Apparate the flame!
66.
By the tiniest of margins, you have failed. Of course, you do still take a point of damage for the effort. With that, we would turn next to her.
Oh, chocolate cake!
She gathers another 2 big goopy handfuls of gunk, even as the little horrors begin to slither toward you. Leaving greasy trails behind themselves. With that, we turn next to Master Rich.
I'm gonna take another shot at that cake.
By all means.
30.
The power has been apparated. Roll to strike.
38.
There is an explosion of frosting and chocolate.
No! No! Cake! Cake!
She is now far more easily seen with the removal of the chunks of cake.
No! No!
You can see that she is holding, though, another 2 handfuls of dripping confection. With that, we will turn next to our man, Mike. What are you going to do?
Very injured. I'm gonna move up to one of these and strike it with the staff.
Which one?
This one.
Very good. You stride across the ruin and strike down at the slimy little horror.
21.
You strike it and it explodes in a fountain of gelatin that leaves a particularly delicious-smelling stain bubbling on the earth before you. That is it for Mr. Mike. We will turn lastly to young Master Maui.
Blast the cake.
Very good. Roll to operate your abilities.
37.
In this case, you must roll a d10. Just one.
5.
There's another explosion of frosting.
No! 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 No!
With that, we will turn next to the lovely and talented Pete. What are you going to do, old man?
Shooting at the cake again.
Very well.
No. 78.
The flame begins to burn about the hand, but you are not able to summon it forward in a great gout. With that, all at once, the slime hurtles through the ruins and tries to slash at and consume the calves of the Hearthguard. If anyone wishes to make a dodge roll, they may sacrifice their action if they haven't taken one yet this round.
I will attempt to dodge.
Roll that percentile, baby.
59.
A 59 is a successful dodge. You manage to take a few steps forward, avoiding the greasy little horror, but that is not enable you to strike back. Meanwhile, she...
No! No! Would you like some chocolate cake? Chocolate cake!
That she unburdens herself of the globs of gelatin which immediately begin to foam and coagulate into 2 more of the little spawn.
Great. Would you like some chocolate cake?
With that, we will come next to young Master Rich. What are you going to do?
I still have my turn despite the dodge.
You took a dodge action. That is one of those examples where I didn't tick where I should have took. And turn instead, blessing the name of our honest player, to young Master Mike. What are you going to do?
I'm going to turn around and strike that.
Very well. Hearthguard turns and with practiced measure brings down his arrow to strike. 75 will miss. The thing shows a surprising amount of awareness, pulls its mass into a single tendril, and arcs backward away from the burning swing. After that, we will turn to the boy they call Maori. What are you going to do, sir?
I'm going to attempt to hit her with the blast.
Very well. Spins about, closes his eye, and holds his hand forward.
36.
36.
No!
She's rocked by the blast, immediately dropping the 2 fresh globs that she was holding in her hands. She pitches to the side of the cake.
No!
She immediately
No milk!
she goes skithering by. Come on, Skither. There you go. One thing with Legos, I don't want to see Legos falling apart. Come on now, bricks. Bricks must stand together.
No, milk! Milk now, milk!
And the creatures just come forward and begin to whip, rather like little scorpions. They're massed together into barbed tails and strike out. Anyone taking any action? Pete, go to it. You have an action.
I do have an action.
You have your action. We're at the top of the clock.
I am going to attempt to shoot again at her.
Very well.
$61.
61 will hit. Roll a d10. Without the protection of her cake, she
5.
seems awfully spooked. The blast strikes her. She spins on her heel and pitches back unconscious into the cake. At which point, all 3 of the creatures seem to explode from some force within.
Yes.
These objects do not immediately melt away into a sooty black. As each of them dies, there are tumor-like growths of black gelatin exploding along the surface of the cake, but it retains its shape. Her glass fades away, just as it did before, but she remains unconscious in the swirling mix of ichor and frosting and baked good that comprise her battle wagon, as it were. Immediately afterward, you have but moments to consider the battle. There is movement from the other side of the great statue in the heart of the village. You there, Machine Man. Praise and blessing to you. A man of weathered brown skin leans heavily upon the stock of a rifle, even as you notice that he has limped to one side as he's walking from the midst of the ruins, stumbles out. He is wearing a filthy all-weather coat that hangs slightly open. The man's face is crossed by any number of recent incidental wounds. Coonskin cap does indeed cling to head as he stumbles out toward you. The village has been held for many days by the creature. The overseer, it called her Ursula. Blessing to you that her abominable confection now lies dying. Praise to your name, Hearthguard. Praise to the Pentral Order. He tightens up and attempts to salute. But this is obviously a hurt man and a very weak man. He comes closer. Did you come here to liberate us?
Yes, we're here to liberate all those villages from the Mammon infection.
Blessing again, my friend. I am sorry. I am sorry. I am Boris. It was my father's name, as well as his father before him. I welcome you to Varenhazor, or a tongue of West frailty. I welcome you to frailty, the hope of Latveria. He smiles weakly before supporting himself in the statue.
Are you the only survivor?
Of the village? It is not my village. We should away from this place, should she rouse. Come, my boys, come. And he starts skulking off with practiced and knowing footfalls off deeper into the ruins. Yeah.
Yeah, we follow.
Follow along. There are many of your order now, do you know the one they call Space Knight? Do you know the Defenders, as they call it? The ones who protect the Manhattan. Many pray that the rumors of their demolition have been exaggerated.
They're still around. They're still on this plane, this earth.
Then there is hope, yes?
Yes.
He leads you into one of the ruined shells of a villager's hovel. You see that there are several gunny sacks, not immediately identifiable what might be in them, thrown into the relative shelter of the little ruin. And it's obvious that he has been crouched here for some period of time. As well. As I said, my friend, my name is Boris, and I know this village. I have come by at the time. I am Zefro. I am Romani. Once our people wander free this land before the robot that took Transia. Since then, it all falls apart. If you tell me the Defenders live, then that is as much a gift as falling that thing, that whore, back down into her confection. Yeah, you gift me much. I do not have much I can give other than my words and my hospitality.
Those will both work.
Good. He smiles nervously. So, what do you know of what happened here, huh?
Not much whatsoever.
Then I shall tell you what I know.
Okay.
In the hopes that it will serve you. The village is an old one, but is well populated. There is much ore in the Vander Mountains. You know, during the time of Rodolfo, the mountains gave much trade of cobalt with the West, and the outsiders ever was the heart of the king's fortunes. Everything fell apart months ago. First there is the assassination of the Vendômes. After they fell, you know, there were many who knew the old ways. They knew that the speakers with the dead, Cynthia makes an odd half cross with his hand, that Rodolfo ruled only through her mercy and attentions. When they were found murdered at the Hunyar River, everything came apart. They said it was her magics that ever held Latveria protect, but to see things fall apart in such little fashion, that is when one nightmare visit after the next. First it is the robot we see in the West reports of Sems, this Adaptoid, the Ultron that come and make itself king of Transia. From then on, all the horrors of West seem to come in unending trade, one after other. They support the robots, they support those who kill the robot, and those that kill them, and those. All there is the battle now, all there is the madness. Many of the free peoples we retake to the tribes of our fathers. We make our way to the mountains. We cross the border to Simacria, then there is safe. Few have made it across the border. Most have perished. The things, they hunger. I come this village, for it was birthplace of Cynthia. It was at the very square that she met her beloved Werner so long ago, and it was not protected. Truly, her spirit has left this world with her body's fall. The black things, they make their celebrate here. I was here when they came against village. 6 of them, horror men from the west, like I see. 6 of them. They come. Their powers are terrible, like a bruja, but they come from the blood. We understand now, yes. What is your magazines called? The super villains. 6. They come and they break and they ruin, but they do not kill. I stay to shadow the whole village. Meantime, I hear enough. I hear they are made of search of something. They come, they drag out into square. I see. It is cask. It sealed by old magics that do not die with their maker. I flee into wood. I assume that if a village should be broken, if this destruction were, they should not have this thing, you know. I see the old seals. They are from before the time of even Rodolfo's line. And so I flee. I have spent so long fleeing. Circle back, though. If there is way to open the cask, then it would be here. But I come back and the Wilhans has gone. The 6 have gone except for that one. They call her Ditgodivich, Ursula, mad. Some sort of bruja, cakes and milk. Others come, mercenaries, outsiders. I see her drown them in the cup, never stop belch all milk, drown them. Or the cake they eat, it explode from within, or she throw and it stab them. Mercenaries not take village, but still, I am no position to fight a monster like that. I know something of the old faith, but not enough to stand against such creature. In time I learned. They have taken the people, they have taken them into the mountains, not to dig for cobalt, those mines. They dig deeper. Some they send away, I do not know where to go, but most of village is beneath mountains. There is one of them overseas, a monster like, face like baboon, skin orange. He's served by smaller things that look like him, look like the kobolds in the old woman's stories. Fond ears, and they are cruel. He orders them. He calls them his goblins, and they call him hobgoblin. The people do not leave the mines. Where there is air in mines, they keep them chained, and when they drop, they let them rot. They dig. They are looking for something. They have eyes, else. I have seen the thing that has been pursuing me. He is a man who is made of dirt, and his mind is as mad as the Ursula. He chatters and blathers to himself. He falls apart and weeps and reforms. I have stayed ahead of this golem thing. He seeks, he points toward one of the sacks. He seeks the cask. I am too weak to protect it now, but you are strong enough. Take it, Hearthguard, and do not let the Six find it.
Get that sifter. Yeah, well, with the cask, that's what he was looking for in one of the ports out there.
He
Got his
opens
hands on
the
it.
gunny sack that you might see this cask, and what you find inside is a rather fragile-looking clay jug with a white stone stopper in its mouth. You can, however, see that there are a series of green glowing symbols, odd and alien runes, seemingly painted onto its face with some sort of phosphorescent paint. But even to look at it is an understanding that not even the Hearthguard needs to speak to. Some sort of magic sits upon the air. He holds it out fretfully toward you. As soon as you do, the runes stop glowing, and the cask crumbles apart in your gauntlet. A single tiny object falls from within it, falls into the palm of your hand. It is a straight razor with a zebra pattern along its neck. I hear them say, I not realize it in cask, but I have heard them say that they will bring him his razor, and he will make all things new again. That is where we will end.